Hello and welcome to another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of another furry visual novel. This one, Instinct, sorry. A game about, as I'm reading up the synopsis, Milo Stone, a gifted young quarterback at the rising D1 University, has an opportunity of a lifetime to shine before the roaring crowds in his first year. But after a car accident delays at start of his season, he arrives at Redfield University, hoping to make friends and maybe even find love. Instead, he is met with strange sightings and witnesses an event he cannot explain. As the semester unfolds, Milo begins to sense that his new life isn't just a clean slate. It holds secrets he was never meant to find. So, if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. But they don't have a Patreon, it doesn't seem. And if you want me to do a Let's Play series of this game, then tell me, and I'll give it a point which put it higher on the user choice list. And if you want me to quick look any other game, then tell me, and I'll do that too. So reset face. And begin. Okay. Well, for a second I almost pressed F9, be like, yeah, we begin by pressing that button. No, it's already started. Oh god, why is it that the preference is always doing that? And the weird part is, I know I'm awake. That's the part that scares me. It feels like a dream I can't wake up from, but I know it's real. Like, I could open my eyes any second now, and I'd be back in my bedroom. My poster's still on the wall, my book's on the shelf, my clothes out of those boxes. There's a lull in my rant. Silence stretches between us. Dr. Hill doesn't speak. Maybe he's waiting. Maybe he already knows what I'm about to say. Are you worried that you will? How do you say it? He looks up the corner of his office, as if there was a list of ways to speak inoffensively to a patient posted to the wall. I'm worried that I'll hurt. Am I worried? Am I worried that I'll hurt somebody? Well, you could say that. The tiger blushes, so embarrassed his attempt to come off subtly failed. It's not that sort of thing. It's like I'm in complete control, but there's a haze over everything. Dr. Hill's tail twitches. Ah, this has only started how long ago? It started before the accident. Back when it was just background noise. I could tune it out. I got really good at ignoring it too, especially with my freshman season on the line. But now, nothing feels real. I know things are real, but I pause, trying to find the best way to word it. The silence between us hurries me for an answer. It was hard enough describing to my friends and parents, and even they still don't understand. Dr. Hill, however, seems to be on the edge of his seat. I'm the captain commanding the ship, but the rudder moves itself. It moves to my will, right? What you're describing sounds to me a lot like derealization disorder. The room fills with deafening silence, we're thinking of the same thing. Or we are. While your uncle was suffering I know. I cut him off. I don't want to end up like him. Dr. Hill shoots me a look of sympathy. These are difficult emotions you're facing. Any drug use lately? Marijuana? The devil's lettuce? I shake my head. How common would you say panic attacks have been the past month? I shake my head again. None. A bird chirps by the office window. Chirps by? Dr. Hill exhales, his tail flicking once before he looks down at the papers. He taps his finger a few times before looking back at me. College. That's a big change. Do you think you're worried about how you'll perform at the next level? I mean, yeah. Who wouldn't be? I think it would be worthwhile to begin doing your breathing exercise again. Remember those? I smirk. Of course I do. Dr. Hill smiles as well. That was one of the first tricks taught me after I started seeing them all those years ago. I think we should also increase your dosage of Tropizil. Uh, you just turned 18, after all. I chuckle. I think you're a year too late on that. His smile grows, revealing his picturesque albino fangs. What? You're an adult now? Or you're an adult now? I'm 19, Dr. Hill. Then we definitely need to increase it. I laugh and cringe at the same time, trying to figure out if I'm more embarrassed from Dr. Hill's childish joke or the fact that I'm playing along with it. He probably used that line on me back when I first came in, after what happened that Easter. Dr. Hill seemed to read my thoughts, and his smirk fades. You're not him, Milo. We're gonna make sure of that. 1 week later, I'm finally heading to campus. Saturday, August 23rd. The truck jabbers as we drive out of the neighborhood that raised me. My heart races every time we hit near a turn, anxiety I haven't been able to shake since spring. As I calm down, I watch as we pass the sidewalks where I used to ride my bike for hours. The hill that my friends were turned into our sledding resorts in winter. The tree I would scramble up to show off my neighbors. Too many? Being a doll, I was a terrible climber, especially compared to the other kids at school. Is that like a family or like a species? Lord knows how many evergreens we have in Western Washington. I knew I was the odd one out, exhausting myself only to fall on my back. Excuse myself or exhaust myself. Anyways, I remember spending hours practicing on that tree until I found a dent in the bark that perfectly fit my foot. I was so excited that I spent the whole afternoon timing how fast I could climb up and down. Another sharp turn, and I gripped my leg, claws threatening to poke through my jeans. Thank you so much, by the way. I stifle laughter and turned to the big brown bear in the driver's seat, the gray cap on his head, fitting tight between his ears. Don't worry about it. Hades was the only actual friend I was able to make in the football team during spring training. Honestly, I was shocked when he offered to come pick me up all the way across state. We talked a bit, but we never really had a chance to connect. About 3 days in, I was walking back to my dorm late at night when a car swerved on the sidewalk and sent me flying. I spent the next few weeks in the hospital, which sucked. I'm pretty sure that guy driving got charged for DUI. Fucking addicts. Now, with my first game of the season in less than a week, I'm jumping right in the middle of the storm. How are practices going? Hades shuffles his paws on his wheel, his eyes locked forward. About the same as you'd expect. I had my last day of physical therapy about 2 weeks ago. I'm excited to get some fun. I smile enthusiastically, trying to bring the energy back in the car. No cigar. My final day of physical therapy last Monday. My last counseling appointment with Dr. Hill last Friday. Things really are coming to an end here. So, I remember you telling me that you were watching Killer Syndrome back in May? Oh, yeah, saw that. Was that any good? I remember him being quiet, but this feels different. 3 months isn't that long. Are we still friends? I resign on starting the conversation, and stare at the window as my hometown trails past minute by minute. The luscious deep green forests are soon replaced by miles of dry land, brown baking under the sun as far as the eye can see. After a few hours of mid-2000s hip-hop, Hades surprised me by breaking the silence between us. I almost don't notice, absorbed in the game on my phone I've been mindlessly tapping away at. So, I close the app, turning to him to show my interest. Any conversation is better than what we've had going so far. Excited to start college? His voice is soft, cautious, like he's scared I'll flinch. Yeah, it's a big change, but I think it'll be fun. I smirk to try and boost his confidence a bit. He relaxes his shoulders and taps his finger on the wheel. So, I've been wondering. Yeah? Why Redfield? I heard you had offers from schools like Alabama, Ohio State. I'm just curious. Why did you choose to come to our school? Hades merges to the left lane to pass a slow, moving 18-wheeler. What's wrong with Redfield? Nothing. Nothing. It's just we don't exactly have a five-star program is all. He glances at me expectantly. He definitely had a hunch as to why I'm here. It's the kind of place where conservative flags didn't come down after election. They went up, brighter and bigger. Yeah, kind of like in Texas. Despite how much it has grown in the past few decades, the town has stuck to its true to its small town culture. An odd juxtaposition to be in a large city of Washington outside of King Country. Into the lion's den I go. As much as I'd like to let that hunch linger to avoid persecution, something tells me that's not a good idea. Maybe he's not like everyone else? Well, I was hoping to get some time on the field. Hades merges back in the right lane, listening. Coach Huska said I have a pretty good chance of playing some late game drives this season. Cool. Yeah. I glance at him. Nothing. I turn back to the window. That, plus my parents are massive Raptor fans. They're pretty stoked by my decision. Every Saturday, when I was a pup, Dad handed me a bowl of strawberry sherbet and turned on the Redfield Raptors. We both pretended the team didn't suck. I smile at the memory. So, why did you choose Redfield? It's close to home. Yeah? There's an awkward silence before I realize that's all he had to say. Let me just look over there. Okay, I need to move that thing, but also to do with the story thing that I remember when I chose my college the first time around, it was for a stupid idea. I like this girl. She said she was going to Colorado, so I was like, I'll go to Colorado. She never went, unfortunately. There's an awkward silence before I realized that's all he had to say. How far from campus is it? About a 2-hour drive. You drive in the dorms? Yep. We're driving? You're living. Why did I say driving? I nod, watching that thread cut off before it even begins. Did I do something to upset him? It's starting to get dark. We should be in Redfield after nightfall. His stomach grumbles, and he starts off on the highway as if weighing the decision in his head, or stares off, yeah. He leans forward and taps on his phone. A new blue route flashes on screen. You hungry? Take a deep breath. Today marks the first day of the new chapter, that being chapter 1 after the prologue. Redfield. Whatever happens tomorrow, I can handle it. Oh, nice. You do gotta love visual novels that have a bit extra, you know? Starving. And not starring? Instinct. Episode 1, The Haze. I collapse onto my bed, arm stretching out across the tiny, cramped mattress. Yeah, that definitely looks like a college mattress. My foot accidentally kicks the empty cardboard box that once held my clothes, sitting across the room to the other bed. My roommate will be moving in tomorrow with everyone else. I probably should have just waited to move in with the rest of the peers, but Hades instead insisted he'd pick me up today in order to avoid the chaos. Perks of being on the football team, I remember him texting me. The RA in my hall didn't seem too big of a fan of the plan when we got here, though. Added to the fact they arrived closer to midnight than we expected. I had to make one college student who doesn't stay up criminally late grab a key. It's his job, but I still feel bad. I get up to retrieve the box I kicked, looking over my quick unpacking job. I still have some non-essential items packed away, but I'm proud of what my room looks like so far. I mentally pat myself on the back, though there is not much I can do about musty air and dust that still rests on every surface from last semester. Could this really be my new home? My laptop is charging on my desk, with the duffel bag carrying my football equipment below, snuggled between the table legs. Smuggled or snuggled? It's a strange contrast to the empty desk a few feet away from it. I really hope my roommate isn't an asshole. I think his name is James? A fox studying something smart. I think. Really, I don't care if he's clean, messy, loud, or quiet, as long as he leaves me alone. I'm not great at making friends. Even the only one I have here doesn't seem too eager to talk to me. So of course, I like to make new ones. But my roommate? I want to be friendly, but roommates live too close to hide from. What if he finds out I'm not into goyles? A creep. That's what I think I am, at a place private. And when word gets around about the new backup QB, or quarterback, I guess, Dad only gave me one nice piece of advice when I was in the process of finding a roommate. Don't room with a queer. I was too preoccupied spiraling over what he'd think of me if I ever slipped up and blew my cover to actually reach out to anyone. I thought he'd be more accepting after all this time. He'd even stopped listening to the Republican news station that would buzz in the car radio every morning while on his way to drop me off at middle school. Really? Man, that guy's super progressive. I have a stepdad that used to watch Fox News, but now watches like OAN or Newsmax. You know, the far right of Fox News. So yeah, every single day. I should call my parents. Let them know that I made it safe. I pull out my phone, ignoring the low battery warning as I lie back on the bed, staring at the ceiling. It's past 1:15 a.m. I'm bracing for a voicemail, but then she picks up. Mom? Hey, Em. I smile when I hear Mom's voice, feeling guilty for not calling her earlier. You stayed up. Of course I did, silly. Had to make sure you're alive and well. You haven't sent me any pictures of your dorm. I just finished unpacking. I stand as I talk, slowly making my way over the sink. Now is a pretty good time then. She yawns. I really hope I wasn't stressing her out by waiting so long. I just got the basics out. I'll send you some tomorrow after I'm done. After I'm done? Oh, done. Yeah. Where's Dad? I hear some shuffling on the other end. Asleep. I undo the top of my pill bottle and down two with a swig of water. Sounds about right. So, what time is your first day of practice tomorrow? She raised her voice like she's teasing a pizza party to a classroom of second graders. I play along and fake being annoyed. 9 o'clock in the morning, so I'll better get to bed soon. Okay, you do that. How was the ride over? The conversation lasted another 45 minutes before we said our goodnights and went to sleep. Well, I tried to sleep. I missed the first few weeks of the season, or missed the first few. I'm walking into a new place with no allies. The accident stole my chance to make connections. High school performance doesn't guarantee success here. All I can do is play my best. Hope it's enough. I can do this. Just breathe. Sunday, August 24th. I stumbled into practice facility only a few minutes before the scheduled start time. Despite not getting as much sleep last night, the problem wasn't waking up on time. It's finding the practice field. Seriously, the university should invest in updating their maps. I pushed the duffel bag strap off my shoulder, gently lowering the heavy bag onto the ground. I look around, getting the lay of the land. It's an indoor facility with no bleachers or benches to be seen. It feels ethereal, with its constant haze over reality. Most of the players are chatting with small groups across the sideline. None of them have their helmets or pads on. Hades kneels in the corner, on his own, adjusting the tape on his fingers. I see the coach, huddled on the opposite side of the field. One of them, an aged eagle, notices me and begins to stride in my direction on a toif. The other coaches have their heads set on a group of tall, thin, yet muscled men as they fight for the ball in the game of fly-up. I recognize them as the wide receivers. A deer, 40 yards down the field, slings the football into the air, causing the whole group to squeeze together where they anticipate the ball to land. What kind of cat is this, you know? Oh, serval. I spot a serval in the middle of the amalgamation, eyeing the ball carefully, a calculated look in his big eyes. The horse jumps into the air in front of the pack. He's too early and misses the ball entirely. I see a panther jump next. His hand glazed the ball, causing it to lose speed. The serval takes his time to strike, leap into the air with a grace and athleticism I've never seen outside of ESPN. He catches the ball in one hand, tucking it into his chest as it comes down. Suddenly, the lizard punches the ball out of his grip, causing him to fly back up into the air before he can touch the ground. The serval lands on his ass, watching the football tip right into the hands of the horse. I feel a sudden jolt in my back. Stone? I turn around to see a massive bull looking down at me. He is at least a foot taller than me, his arms the size of my head. Hey, I muster confidence. Just so you know, we try to keep our stuff out of the way of the entrance. He looks down the duff bag at my feet and motions his head in the direction of the open doorway to what seems to be the locker room. Oh, my bad. The bull moves on as I pick up my bag, embarrassed. I must look like a joke right now. I don't exactly have the build you'd expect from a D1 college athlete. Good thing he recognized me, or else he'd probably have thrown me out. I had the strong frame of the bull. Not that I would have complained. Stone. As if on cue, the coach finishes his walk across the field to appear right behind me. His voice is cold, stern. Coach Huska. I turn around attentively, desperately hoping he didn't notice what I was doing. The ancient eagle looks me up and down. He looks smaller than I remember. Sorry, coach. Sorry for what? Let's go put your shirt in the locker room. We're happy to have you back. He gives me a sly grin and leads me to the same dark entrance to the bull pointed out. Is this what a locker room like them look like? Coach Huska assigns me my own locker and hands me a red practice jersey to wear over my pads. A quarterback top, the bright color exempting me from being hit by blitzing defenders. Don't want you to get hurt again, he said, a bit too brightly. Or don't want you to get hurt again. 20 minutes later, we've all put on our pads, finished our stretches, and broken up into several different groups. Defensive linemen, linebackers, and secondary all head outside, with the kickers on a separate field. Inside, giant, hulking linemen do their drills by the away side end zone. In the middle of the field, smaller, agile running backs chat with their position coach. On the way to the end zone, I stand quietly, arms awkwardly at my side, as I wait for the wide receivers for Husker to return, or with the wide receivers. They seem to be riled up already from fly up? Yeah, these are terms I have no idea what they are. Jumping on each other and making bold claims about their play. The servo watches the deer and the panther craft a vulgar touchdown dance with their arms crossed. They're basically air humping when a voice booms from the sideline. No showboating! Murray, Harrison, the Fury Club is in Needham Hall. The deer and the panther jump to attention. I think back to the few LGBT posters I've seen on campus that point to the organization meeting there. Yeah, RJ, I heard your boyfriend runs it. Shut the fuck up, Michael. Michael laughs, and RJ holds back a snicker. Great. Even as I grow older, people like me are still the butt of every joke. It's not my fault your girls look like... Huska clears his throat, and the two go silent, the conversation snuffed out like a candle. The eagle walks past us, feathered hands behind his back. His presence alone is commanding. His eyes land on me. Without saying a word, he beckons me forward. I step out to Huska on the 5-yard line, facing the receivers. They're all now lined up, shoulder to shoulder. This is Milo Stone. Say hello to Stone. Hi, Stone. The voices match in unison, saying the words slow and methodically, as if taunting me. Now tell me, how many of you remember Stone? They all raise their hands. Wow. He's going to rotate with McCord as quarterback for drills from now on. Neo, your QB2 duties have been relinquished. Shit, and I was just starting to get my Huckle McClingleberry down. I don't know. The wide receivers all laugh, before being silenced once more by a Huska stare. Let's get into it. Everyone in on me. Huska holds out his hand, and the receivers jog in to put their hands in a pile. Raptors, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Raptors! The huddle clears as receivers rush out to the 20-yard line. I'm left with Huska and a tall, stoic Wolf. His fur is dark as night. His blue eyes look down on me with grandeur. I realize that I'm sitting next to the face of the Redfield Raptors. Parker McCord. I had already done drills alongside him for those brief few days during spring training, but that was surrounded by other ambitions, high school quarterbacks trying to make the cut. Or ambitious? This is different. It's just me and him. His gaze is inhospitable, his jaw tight. Let's see how much Stone has been studying the playbook. I'm going to split 3 receivers in 2 groups, 1 for each of you. I'm going to signal a route, and they're going to run it. Make sure they get the ball. Sound easy enough? Parker nods. Yes, coach. Huska turns around to relay his plan to the receivers. Parker shifts his focus back to me and holds out his hand. May the best man win. What? I shake his hand and nod, not knowing what to say. The drills go far better than I expected. Far, far better. None of the receivers on my side have dropped a single ball. Accuracy has always been my strong suit. I whip the ball 5, 10, 20, 40 yards and they all land perfectly in the arms of my target. This seems to get my teammates excited too. RJ even attempts a spin before catching one of the balls, his antlers twirling like a ribbon in the air. Parker, on the other end, is struggling to get anything into his receiver's hands. I can tell he's getting frustrated. He leers at me whenever he throws a bad pass, as if it's my fault. Oh god, does Parker McCord hate me? What would Dad think? He was so excited he'd found out I'd be playing behind him. I shake the thought and catch the ball. RJ tosses back to me. The serval is up next. Usko holds his arms up, signaling a fade route. He blows the whistle. The serval uses his long legs to speed off like a race car. I wait to see him across the 40-yard line before shooting the ball into the air. It comes down like a swooping bird, landing perfectly into the serval's chest. To my right, Parker underthrows Ketsneo by more than a few feet. The serval springs back to me as quick as he ran out, bouncing with excitement. Holy fuck, you can fucking throw, dog. I've never seen a hole with an arm like that. You got those fucking Milo Stone genetics. My heart drops at the mention of his name. Dude, what the fuck? Esther, the gun, or Easter, the gun. Shit. The way he fell. You can't say that shit, Jaden. Limp, like a giant sack. Back in line. Sorry. The serval says it quietly, but genuinely. It's not his fault. I've had to deal with comments like that my whole life. He didn't mean any harm. I shake it off and look down the football. I didn't notice the serval handed back to me. I'm guessing, somebody related to him might have Minecrafted himself, kind of like that one football movie. Can't remember what it was, where in the end it's like, and he takes a gun out. It's fine. I'm fine. As far as first days go, it could be worse. I like to believe I did a good job at impressing the coaches, but as practice went on, I began to feel an overwhelming sense of loneliness. After that little bit of exchange about my uncle, none of the receivers seemed comfortable enough to break the ice with me. In hindsight, they were probably just giving me breathing room, but at the time, I couldn't shake the feeling that they were afraid of me. That they would think I'm like him. Not exactly wrong. Upping my dosage of pills hasn't had any effect so far. Even the dorm hallway I'm stepping through right now feels like a scene from a dream. I hope there aren't any side effects like last time. I shudder at the thought. As I approach my dorm, I hear muffled metal music emerging from the door. Right, my roommate should be here by now. I take a deep breath and put my key into the handle. I briefly catch a whiff of my own BO. I smell bad. Shit. Why did my first introduction with him have to be right after practice? I need to take a shower. Yeah. I need to take a shower so I don't smell bad. But how would they even play out? Hi, new roommate. I'm gonna go get naked in the bathroom now. See you in 5. I mean, why not? Before I have time to finish the thought, the door is fully open. He's cute. Bang him. On the opposite side of the room, from my bed, an Arctic fox twists around, bedsheets in hand. He quickly rushes over to the record player on the top of the dresser, taking the needle off the vinyl. I'm sorry about that. You're good. I'm Milo. I grin and hold out my paw. He shakes it with his firm grip. I'm James. His voice is gentle and tired, but deeply masculine. What was that? They point to the record player. Oh, that is French black gaze bands that I like. Black gaze? Yeah, it's a mix of shoegaze and metal. It's simply atmospheric. Oh, what shoegaze? I've never heard of that before. What band was that? He doesn't respond, too preoccupied, looking me up and down. What are you? What? What are you looking at? Nothing. I like your shoes. Hard to find good low tops with all these back to school sales going. Thanks. He looks a bit disappointed, even though I can tell that he's trying to hide it. Actually, now that I'm getting my turn looking at him, he seems a little panicked. Are you okay? I'm doing great. Why would you ask? Never mind. I understand his predicament. Meeting new people can be stressful. There's a lot of There's also the chance he was unpacking something I'm not supposed to see. I decided to help him by sidestepping this train wreck of a conversation and informing him that I need a shower, for both of our sakes. 10ish minutes later, I step out of the bathroom with a fresh set of clothes on. James is busy rearranging a stack of novels on his desk, peeking behind him to confirm I'm not naked before turning around to face me. Hey, you said you just got back from practice? Yeah? Can I stuff your drawers? I slid my hands in my pockets, putting on a friendly face. I was wondering, what do you play? Football. Today was actually my first official practice. James regards me with a look of disbelief. He laughs. He got me there for a second. Seriously, what did you just come back from? I'm interested. I'm not joking. I motion to the duffel bag next to the bathroom door, and his face practically goes red. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. He covers his face, cheeks completely flooded. Or floored? Yeah, floored. I just thought you were messing with me. Now it's my turn to laugh. Don't worry about it. I get that all the time. It still stings, but I wouldn't lighten the mood with James. That's super cool, though. Does that mean you moved in weeks ago? I actually moved in yesterday. Today was my first day of practice. I thought they started a few weeks before classes begun. I shuffled past the boxes on my desk and sat on my bed. They did, but I was in a car accident. Holy, I'm sorry. Are you doing all right? It was months ago. I got out of physical therapy 2 weeks before I drove up here. I'm feeling much better now. I can't even imagine. Were you driving? I'd be afraid to get behind the wheel again. I was, on the sidewalk. His eyes light up with shock, desperately trying to change the topic. I move my gaze to his desk. What are those books? He spins his head around. Ed. Oops, sorry, Riyadh. And seems to understand what I'm getting at. Wait. Oh, those. They're some of my favorites that I've picked up over the years. I'm not too good at rereading books, but I like to take them with me as a reminder. A reminder? Yeah, the ways they make me feel, that sort of thing. He slips a lengthy book from the top of the pile into his paws. What book is that? This? He flips the book, flips to look at the cover. This is Heart-Shaped Box. I picked it up because I like the Nirvana song. No connection. Still great book. You know, I grew up close to Aberdeen. Really? His eyes virtually glow. Well, not close, but close enough to go with my friends when we were all into Nevermind. You like 90s alt? I guess. It's more of what my friends outside of football were into back in high school. I mean, I am a fan of Pavement. What the heck? I guess this is just music genres I have no idea about. James gives me a sour face. Don't they make TikTok music? That was one song, and honestly, a good one. I give my defensive reaction in an overtly dramatic tone. James chuckles, his bit paying off. I join him. We spend the next hour or so discussing our favorite books and albums. We're both big fans of rock, but our circles never seem to touch, not like our balls. Despite this, the conversation is actually engaging. The first good one I've had since I got here. Oop, I think I moved somewhere else. There we go. It's entertaining seeing this man I just met nerd out about his favorite bands. The sun hits hard against the window blinds, and I come to realize just how undamaged they are. and light. It's obvious just how recently the university launched its expansion project. At one point, he takes off his coat, and his fit physique becomes more obvious. I wonder if he plays any sports himself. So, I simply ask. No, but I like to go to the gym a few times a week. It helps keep me active. I bet you go a lot as well. Me? I scratch my ears and avert my gaze. I think back to the number of hours my varsity teammates have recorded in the weight room log, towering far above my pathetic line. Of course, I lifted weights, but only what was required for my coaches. I remember seeing an Instagram post about Parker McCord's morning workout routine. A weight crushes my consciousness whenever I think about it. The fact that I was lucky to be born with the right genetics, while everyone else around me had made great sacrifices to reach where I am. Football keeps me in shape. I shrug, still not meeting his eyes. I'll say. James glances at his phone. Looks like the cafeteria is open for dinner. You want to go together? I have nothing better to do. And frankly, I enjoy James's presence. Sure. I hope you have a map. When the warm summer breeze hits my face, as I walk through the front doors of the hall, I immediately sense something's off. The crowd packs of students on the university paths don't move. They all stare up. What the hell? I murmur, cranking my own neck to the sky, but seeing nothing, just fluffy clouds in the bright blue heavens. So I guess it's spooky for a bingo card. Something's wrong. What's going on? I'm not sure. It's quiet. The muffled chanting amongst the students is the only thing that fills the void. They're confused. Eventually, they begin dispersing, revolving back to the walking amongst the small groups. More than a few people throw a "what the fuck?" I look at James. He's inspecting the groups with a concerned face. I can only guess he's trying to figure out what just happened. That was weird. Yeah. Spontaneously, he bursts out laughing. What the fuck was that? I chuckle. I don't know, dude. I look back up at the sky. Still nothing. I bet we can ask some people in the cafeteria. James lightly jabs my shoulder. Good idea. I'm starving. The morning university cafeteria buzzes with life as hundreds of students clatter in lines that stretch far longer than any pizza or burger is worth. James and I detect a shorter line to the salad bar in the corner of the food court. Not my first choice, but better than waiting an hour for 2 soggy slices of pepperoni. As you wait, I survey the cafeteria for open seats. I see the wide receivers from earlier sitting in a big group, minus RJ, who is eating with the most muscular bobcat I've seen in my life. I catch sight of Hades, shoving his fork into his mouth with a click far larger than I expect him to be in. I focus on the reality that I'm actually here, at Redfield U. The world's still numb, like a dream, like feeling still present, never leaving, or that feeling. Why was I hoping it would stay behind? I know better than to think it works like that. People move, bump into each other, ebbing and flowing. My body is still just above it. I just want those pills to work. I'd do anything to feel like I'm living life again. James grabs the salad from the feline server, and I strut up an order? Oh shit, they have quinoa bowls. Nice. Quinoa? By the time I saw my card and take the meal from the worker, I circled to see James in conversation with someone. Wait, isn't that? Bro, that's wild. That's what I was thinking. It was actually kind of crazy. They were just looking at the sky? I approached the server slowly, not wanting to make the interaction awkward. Thankfully, he noticed me as I approached. Stone, what's up, man? He looks at his paw, and I bap him without thinking. Yo, James, this is Milo Stone, our new quarterback. James' eyes widen. Quarterback? We're actually roommates. I interject. Shit, are you two rooming together? The servo smirks and nods at James. You better find somewhere else to sleep, ASAP. I can tell right now, this guy's gonna get laid every night once he starts playing. I am a bit taken aback by his comments. Start playing? James looks like he's about to explode with all the sudden info he's being fed. Yeah, man, you start Parker at practice day. He knows his time is up. Love the guy, but he's finished second to last in the division last year. Huska's gonna be cooking up some wild plan this season, and from what I can tell, it's got your name written all over it. The room starts spinning. My breathing staggers. This is a lot to take in. You really think so? I know so. James grabs onto my shoulder. Shit, was I really starting to lose balance? Hey, we should probably sit down. Right. Do you want to eat with us, Jaden? The servo briefly looks at the group of wide receivers he was sitting with before. The horse is only known as Cataneo, is distracting Michael as the lizard squishes an absurd amount of ketchup into his boiga to the point it starts overflowing off the patty. I got nothing better to do. We find an empty booth on the perimeter of the cafeteria. James opts to sit next to me as Jaden faces us on the other side. So, you two know each other? Yeah, we went to the same high school. Jaden graduated the year before me, though. He's still looking at me with a perplexed, surprised expression. James was my gym partner in junior year. We realized we also had a couple of classes with each other and did our group projects together. You remember a presentation for Miss Pledder's class? James seems to snap out of his trance and grins with Jaden, his ears perking up cutely. Oh God, never say her name again. Remember the children's lecture analysis essay? I think my one motivation to get that project done was to show her she couldn't lecture us like second graders. My motivation to get that project done... Fuck, I can't read right now. Was that you were the one thing standing between 300 pounds and my neck during bench presses. Oh. They both laugh. I feel a bit left out. They obviously have a rich history together. Man, that's a lot of weight. She wasn't the worst, though. Remember Miss Gilligan? Oh, fuck. He was crazy dog. He tried to force us to join ROTC. Yeah, the whole thing about how World War III is inevitable, and the Russians will attack any day now. He mocks an old, grumpy voice when he recalls those quotes. Wouldn't be surprised if the guy had Doomsday Bunker under his house. Oh no, he definitely does. You want to start early. You want to give orders, and not be on the front line when the bombs start falling. I can read. James' voice makes Jaden double over. Dude, your impression's spot on. He wipes a tear from his eye. I know from his crazy ass POV, he's just trying to protect us, but the guy forced me to totally rewrite my essay on the Cold War as if it didn't end decades ago. I poke my quinoa bowl. I wish just one of my old friends could be here right now. Even it out a little. How about you, Milo? Do you have any bad teachers? There was Dr. Hill. He was the brother of my psychiatrist. Doctor. He was very interested in knowing what was going on with our appointments. He made a few comments about them that you probably shouldn't have said to a kid. The smile fades from Jaden's face. He knows exactly what I'm getting at. Everything about Ian Stone's case is public knowledge. Really, I don't blame Mr. Hill for being so paranoid when Ian Stone Ian Stone's nephew, who is currently seeking help from a mental health professional, is jotting down notes in the second row in his third period. James seems confused, though. I'm sorry to hear that. He does know who I am. Good. Hey, Stone? Gene speaks softly, his head down. I'm sorry about earlier. I wasn't thinking. It's alright. It's on me for not preparing myself for that. If it wasn't for you, it would have been someone else. Gene looks up at me. I mean it. I nod. I'm glad it was you, and not someone who actually meant harm. That seems to hit Jaden, as he sinks down a bit in the seat. There's a cringeworthy silence over the table. I know James wants to ask, but he holds himself back. I try to move the topic along. Do you read much, Jaden? I was just talking to James about books before we came down here. Yeah, for class. I know. Not really outside that. Jaden perks up. What they have you read? You can hear the excitement in his voice. Last year, they had us go through a roadside picnic. Gracie's shit in there. I honestly liked it more than Trokovsky's film adaptation. Really? I never read that. Wait, what? I thought you owned that book. I very much remember seeing it on its desk. We even talked about it at one point. I wasn't friends with a hunter fanatic for 4 years, just to fail to recognize the book that inspired the piece of media I never played. I don't. James looked at me, his eyes begging me to stay quiet. Did he blink at me? So I shut up and let James do his thing. After about 20 minutes of Jaden comparing the novel to film, he announces it's time for him to leave, and he does just that. He's much bigger in the movies than I would expect. Either that, or he just knows far too much about film language. Much bigger into movies. What the hell even is a mise en scene? Now, it's just James and I. What was that? James takes a bite of his salad, the olive rolling off his fork and back into the bowl as he raises it to his mouth. What? He was so excited about that. Sometimes you should just give people a chance to let it out. By lying to them? James looks down. It's good for making conversation. Hey, use that on me yet? James' eyes meet mine. Of course not. I grin. You want to make a promise? James tilts his head to the right, his ears flopping with him. It's kind of adorable. Don't ever use that on me. Seriously, it would hurt my feelings. I say that last part playfully, and James' cheerful demeanor returns. Promise. You're too cool for me to want to hurt your feelings. He sticks out his tongue. He's so close to me, I can practically feel his warmth. Kiss him. His white fur looks so soft. How warm would it be to touch? I snap back and look away. Why am I doing this to myself? The truth of the matter is, even if I find someone who is interested in me, the risks are far too high. There's never been a single gay quarterback in the history of college football, and if I were outed to be the first, I already struggle enough with the spotlight forced me by my uncle, but knowing how football fans tend to be when it comes to homosexuals, that's not something I think I can handle. Yeah, and gay Bud Light or something. We should head back to the dorm. I can help you unpack for the rest of your stuff if you want. Love isn't something that's meant for me on this path. I just need to accept that. Sure. That sounds good. I appreciate it. Maybe after it's all said and done, I can find someone. When fan happiness doesn't bind to contracts. Bet I can make it to our room before you. All I can do is wait. But I know I'm missing out. Monday, August 25th. Though I think with that, it's a good time to call it, since, we're at the past 50-minute mark. So, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So comment, So like, submit you like, dislike. Tip tricks otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like Secret, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos epic and please remember to main and most epic control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game, and or get the news version earlier, sorry, press the thing. It's free on itch.io, they don't have Patreon. I press that button in my head, it do it. But that's not giving me the end of this thing, because I still got other stuff to do. Let's click, nope, that's not the right one. So let's click that off anyways. Click that, exit this. Again, if you want me to do a Let's Play series of this game, then tell me. Give it a point, put it higher on the user's choice list. And if you want me to do quick looks of any other game, then tell me. So random number generator destiny, tell me what you want me to do. That being number 9. Also, sound warning, just in case. Oh, right. I was like, what is this one? Highfalutin Gaming? Maximize it. And again, sound warning as I switch this thing over here. Click. Warning, it woo. Sea Wolves. A game about wolves at sea, or at least one wolf. Okay, Sea Wolves is a story where you become a captain of a ship and write your own destiny. You have to gather your crew and go on adventure, pirate and meet beautiful girls, hunt for treasures, and see where it leads you. So wait, does this thing seem to have a, not just click on a thing to go to the next thing, you actually have to do stuff? There seems to be a map. But yeah, there's that goyle right there. Some kind of fox with some big assets. Oh yeah, there seems to be an energy bar there, and I'd assume that's money. And there's a rabbit girl, a shark girl. Wait. Okay, for a second there it looked like she had an awoo. Yeah. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game, and or get the news version earlier, you can go to Patreon, where it's $5 a month. Yep. Anyways, until next time, another quick look by me, 6, of some other game, being this one. So thanks and see ya.